Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to Spiritism and Media here on Kardec Radio. Today I'm bringing for us the book The Way, the Truth and the Life by Emmanuel, channeled by Francisco Cândido Xavier. And I'm bringing the last chapter of the book, chapter 180, Let Us Shine Our Light. And I wanted us to read this chapter and see how we can apply that when you're talking about media and our role in the media today. So let's read, and that I will highlight one of the sentences here that I think is very connected to what we are studying here. So let us shine our light. So let your light shine among men. Jesus, Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. In comparison with the glory of the evolved worlds, the sublime spheres that fill the universe, the narrow area in which we live is certainly a limited circle of action. But if we were merely a matter of physical space, we would have nothing to complain about. The small, humble house, joyfully illuminated by the sun, is a paradise of happiness. The anguish on our plane comes from darkness. Darkness has invaded every path in every direction. Darkness born from ignorance, wickedness, and foolishness, enveloping nations, institutions, and individuals, a fog that assails consciences, minds, and sentiments. So here he's saying about the darkness that we have today, and we see a lot of darkness. It's not that we didn't have darkness in the past, but because today, especially because of the communications, the way that we can see what's happening around us, we can see that the communications and the advancement of technology make us see darkness more clearly. So in the past, we did have that darkness because we know we are evolving. So we cannot say that the world is worse today than it used to be in 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. No, it's becoming today better and better, a better place for us to live, planet Earth. But society is evolving, the humanity is evolving, but today we can see darkness more clearly. So that's why he's saying here that darkness has invaded every path in every direction, because as we see technology today and how it's easy to spread the darkness today, we can see darkness going every direction. And so he says here, Emmanuel says, in the midst of this long night, we need to kindle our light. Otherwise, it is impossible to find a way to freedom. Without the shining radiations from our own being, we cannot be seen very easily by the divine messengers who lend aid in the name of the Almighty, nor can we effectively help anyone, whoever that might be. It is indispensable to organize our inner sanctuary and illuminate it so that the darkness does not overcome us. So it's important for us to have our inner sanctuary, like to have this connection to God wherever we are, wherever we go, all the time. So we have in this inner sanctuary, its inner temple within us. We can have this connection to God, to Jesus, to all the good spirits and benefactors, to our guardian angels, so we can be protected and we can protect ourselves against this darkness. It is possible to progress by using other people's light, but without your own, we are in constant danger of stumbling. The owners of the lighted lamps may go a different way than ours, summoned by lofty mountains that we do not yet deserve. Therefore, take advantage of the sources of light along the way. Use the wick of goodwill, the oil of service and humility, and kindle your torch for the journey ahead. Thank those who light your way for an hour, for a few days, or for many years, but do not neglect your own lamp if you do not want to slide off the road and down a cliff. So it's very important for us. We can make this connection. For example, as I said, we have all this technology. Today we have many ways to access also the darkness, and both the darkness and the light. But it's very easy for us to count on others' light and others' people light, and do not make that effort to allow our own light to grow and to shine. So we can, for example, constantly be seeing good examples around us and be happy with those good examples. But if we do not try to be an example ourselves, so if we do not allow our light to shine to others ourselves, so we may not be evolving, or we may not be evolving as much as we could. So that's very important also here. And he says here, the fundamental issue of redemption, my friend, is not limited to spoken or written words. It's very easy to make wonderful speeches and give excellent information while remaining blind ourselves. So here is what I wanted us to make this connection when we're talking about media and communication. So he says here, let's repeat here what Emmanuel says. The fundamental issue of redemption, my friend, is not limited to spoken or written words. It's very easy to make wonderful speeches and give excellent information while remaining blind ourselves. So many times when you're talking about media, about social media, we can go out on social and write beautiful words, and I may post and repost lectures by many people, good music and elevated messages. I may be helping others, yes, I may, but it doesn't mean that I am helping myself, because if I just put it out there, if I just repeat those words, but I do not connect myself to those words, why am I doing that? So we need to be examples to, and also to learn with the examples that we are watching, and to what we are saying, to what we are doing. So we may read many books, we may watch many lectures, but if we are not understanding that, if we are not applying that to our own lives, so as Emmanuel is saying here, we remain blind ourselves. So let's try not to be blind. Let's try to take that opportunity that is in front of us and to learn with that. So we may speak beautiful words, we may post and repost on social beautiful words, and we may edit wonderful videos, but if we do not learn with that, if we are not being, not only being a good instrument, but learning with what we are being used for, what's the meaning of doing that for ourselves? Because we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to evolve. So we need to see that, we need to try to apply what we study and apply everything that we have in our hands in our own lives. So he says here, our basic need is our own light, our inner enlightenment, our self-education, and the real conversion of the self to the kingdom of God. You can speak marvelously about life, you can argue brilliantly about the faith, you can teach the values of belief and eat the bread of consolation. You can exalt peace, gather the flowers of the good, and enjoy the fruits of other people's generosity. You can win the ephemeral crown of easy praise and accumulate various titles that adorn you as you traverse the valleys of the world. So he's giving many examples of good things, of things that we can do that we may think, okay, I'm evolving, I'm becoming each time a better person. And then he says here, all this can in fact be done by the Spirit that tarries indefinitely on certain spots along the way. However, it is impossible to advance without light. So we need to, as he says here in the beginning, as Jesus says here, let's read again, so let your light shine among men. So we need to have our own light as well. It's good for us to speak beautiful words, yes it is, but if we do not apply those words in our own life to allow our light to shine, and then we can be actually an example to others through our actions, so that we will not be evolving. So it's important, that's why I brought this lesson here, for us to think about that, for us to think about, okay, how is the role, what's the role that I have here, what am I doing here, and how am I allowing my own light to shine. And as usual, I'm bringing here the book Happy Life by Jonas de Angelis and Divaldo Franco, so we can read another uplifting message to finish our meeting here. So opening randomly here, it's chapter 133. The opportunities for moral ascent that life affords you must be seized readily and wisely. Time marches on inexorably, and an overlooked chance is lost for good. Once time and wind pass, they never return. Thus, taking advantage of every opportunity for inner growth is a blessing that will set you free. Stay vigilant so as to put all your time to good use. Thank you so much for your company. May God bless all of us. See you next week.